You're listening to Language Caster's Learning English Through Football podcast. Hello everyone and welcome to the show for all those who love the beautiful game of football and who want to improve their English language skills. My name is Damien and I am based in London where the weather is cold. Very cold. I wonder what the weather is like in Tokyo, where the other member of the Language Caster team, Damon, is based.
Você está escutando languagecaster.com.
That message was from one of our listeners in Brazil, and I know that he is a Vasco da Gama fan, so I wonder which team he wants to win this season's Copa Libertadores final, which takes place this weekend. We will be looking ahead or previewing that game a little later on in the show, when we will also hear from Damon with his predictions on that and 3 other big games from the weekend. So in addition to that stinger from the Brazilian football fan, we will have some more stingers or messages in different languages throughout today's show. See if you can guess what languages they are. We'll let you know at the end.
Hola a todos, estáis escuchando languagecaster.com.
Right, on today's podcast, in addition to previewing the Copa Libertadores final, we will look at some language from this week's Champions League group stages to blow a lead. And we will also explain the expression to go top, along with some variations of this phrase. We will also look ahead to some of the big games this weekend in our predictions competition, including der Klassiker, which sees Borussia Dortmund host Bundesliga leaders Bayern Munich.
Je luistert naar languagecaster.com.
To blow a lead. Manchester City have been going through a bad run of form recently. 5 defeats in a row, followed by a 3-3 home draw in the Champions League against Feyenoord. This means that we can say that City are in crisis. Remarkably, it looked as if they were going to break their poor run when they went 3-0 up in the second half against their Dutch opponents on Wednesday. But they made mistakes, switched off, and appeared to panic, which allowed the Dutch side to stage an amazing comeback and draw 3-3. So, in this case, we can say that Manchester City blew a lead. They blew a 3-goal lead to only draw the game. When a team blows a lead in a game, it is often because they are not confident, and Man City have been described by their own boss Pep Guardiola as being fragile, which means they can easily break. It seems so strange to see City like this. They never used to blow leads, and it could get even worse for them as their next game in the Premier League is against leaders Liverpool.
My name is Hortensia and I'm from Zaragoza and I'm a Real Zaragoza supporter and you're listening to languagecaster.com.
To go top. We use the verb to go to describe when teams move position in the table, usually up the table, so their league position changes. So, for example, if a team in second place are 1 point behind the leaders and they defeat the leaders in their next game, then they would go top of the table. They would go up 1 position to first. In the Championship this week, Sheffield United beat Sunderland in a top-of-the-table clash to go top. They now lead the Championship. They are in first place. We can also use other positions with this verb, so not just when a team goes top. For example, Brighton drew with Southampton this week to move up to second in the Premier League table. They have gone second in the table. If my team Tottenham wins at home to Fulham, not a given considering how inconsistent we have been, then they will move up from 8th to 5th. They will go 5th in the league. Now, the big game in the Premier League this weekend sees first against second, with Liverpool taking on Manchester City. If City win, they cannot go top, as they are too far behind the leaders Liverpool, who will be top at the end of the day, no matter what the result is. The Reds will stay top at the end of the weekend. Another way of saying this phrase is to move top or to move second. What does to go top mean in other languages? Is there a similar expression in your language?
My name is Adam. I'm from Hungary. My favorite team is Ferencváros, and you're listening to languagecaster.com.
2024 Copa Libertadores final preview. The biggest game in South American club football takes place this weekend with the CONMEBOL Copa Libertadores final between Brazilian sides Botafogo and Atlético Mineiro. The all-Brazilian final means that the last 6 tournaments will have been won by teams from Brazil, a dominance which is unprecedented. This means that it has never happened before. Atlético Mineiro have previously won the trophy back in 2013, while Botafogo have never won this competition, but are many people's favourites to win this season in Buenos Aires at the home of River Plate. We'll be looking at some of the words and phrases that emerge from this game in next week's show. You can drop us a line on social media to let us know if you come across any interesting words and phrases from the game. In any language, of course.
State ascoltando languagecaster.com.
So you can find out more about some of the words and phrases that we have already discussed in today's show, as well as hundreds more football expressions and clichés by coming along to our football language glossary.
Vous écoutez languagecaster.com.
Yep, it's predictions, and here's Damon with his predictions for the week.
Okay, here are my predictions for this week. Last week I only picked up 4 points from a possible 15, so I hope I can do better this week. I did get the correct score and results for Athletic Bilbao versus Real Sociedad, so it wasn't all bad. It does leave me behind the guests and Damien, though. Here goes. The first game we have is Borussia Dortmund hosting Bayern Munich. The Bundesliga leaders, Bayern, have good form coming into this game. They are on a 7-game winning streak. They've won 7 on the bounce in all competitions. Dortmund have home advantage and were boosted with a good result against Dynamo Zagreb in the Champions League. But I still think Bayern will win this one, 2-1. Then there is the final of the Libertadores Cup between Botafogo from Rio de Janeiro and Atlético Mineiro from neighbouring state Minas Gerais. Atlético are in a slump in form going into the final, while Botafogo are riding high in the league, and I think will win this 2-1 as well. My team Liverpool take on Manchester City on Sunday, and despite a fantastic result against Real Madrid this week and only losing 1 game this season, this is going to be a real tough game as City try to bounce back from a poor run of form. However, I back the Reds to sneak it 1-0. In another Premier League clash, I think Chelsea will comfortably beat Aston Villa 3-1. The Blues have hit their stride, had some good results recently, and they look quite an exciting team. So, those are my predictions. How about yours?
Thanks for those, Damon. I think I agree with much of what you say, but I have a feeling that City will bounce back and win this game against Liverpool. Sorry. While I don't think Chelsea will defeat Villa, but instead it will end in a draw.
Tá tú a géisteacht le languagecaster.com.
So if you want to let us know your predictions, or if you have any questions or comments about any of the language from today or any other football language, then drop us an email at admin@languagecaster.com. So please spread the word and give us a like or a follow.
คุณกำลังฟัง languagecaster.com.
Yep, that message was in Thai. We also heard some stingers in Italian, Dutch, Spanish, Irish, and French. How many of those did you guess right? Now, just before we go, we'd like to let you know that we have been making some changes at LanguageCaster. In particular, some behind-the-scenes changes, which hopefully means things will be a little quicker. If you notice anything that's not working or anything at all, then please let us know also. Thanks everyone for listening today. We looked at the phrases to go top and to blow a lead. Let us know if you hear these words in any language during this week's football. And don't forget there's a transcript for the podcast with lots of vocabulary support. Enjoy all the football this weekend, and we'll be back early next week with a new football language expression. Bye-bye.